NXT wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I thoroughly enjoyed NXT. Charlotte was on this show. She came out, and we'll get into that. Trick Williams, man, that boy Eddie Thorpe, boy, put a whooping on that boy tonight. The women's division is really good in NXT. I like what they're doing down there. We start the show off with Stephanie Vacour. Vacour. I always mispronounce that woman's name. Vacour. And she went up against JC Jane. Pretty good match. It was a good match to start it off. JC Jane came a long way from being in that group with Gigi Dolan and Mandy Rose. What was it called? Fatal Attraction. She came a long way. This match was really good. Stephanie Vacour, she's just a star. It looks like she's going to be going up against Fallon Henley for the Women's North American Championship, and I think she's going to get it. Or, I mean, if you want to give Fallon a good win, I mean, you can also have Fallon win, and then she can win the title at Stand and Deliver show in Vegas. So Lexis King, I don't know what's going on. Is that shit painted on his face or anything like that? I don't know, but it just looks weird to look at him. I can't take him seriously because I don't know whether that shit is painted on his face or just airbrushed like they do to people in the barbershops or everything like that. Like, don't put that shit on my head, cuz. Okay. Lexis came out there and he goes on and on about how he's on the path to being the biggest star in the history of pro wrestling. He makes fun of Ryan Leaf for trying to give him advice, says he moves to the beat of his own drum. He was born into the business as a second-generation talent and son of a psycho. He tried to be anything but Brian Pillman, but he does know his father was a loose cannon and would do anything to win. Yes, he would. Boy, I miss Brian Pillman. Now, I was introduced to Brian Pillman when he was beefing with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they had like the incident where Stone Cold was trying to get into his house. I thought that shit was real. Man, I was like, what? But he goes on and says like that he's proud to be the Heritage Cup champion. And then Fandango interrupts. Fandango interrupts and said basically, I want a shot at you for this Heritage Cup for next week. I am going to look forward to that, seeing that. See what I'm saying? On the road to WrestleMania, everything is stepping up. And NXT is stepping up in their ratings. So let's see how everything goes. You got footage of Tony D'Angelo on the show Wild Cards. I don't know what that is. Then backstage, the family hypes him up about his appearance on the show. Stacks is still upset about how Tony D didn't come out to help them in their tag team match, saying this must have been what Tony was talking to Izzy Dame about. I don't know what that is because I didn't watch last week. We had Ridge Holland defeated Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Ridge Holland he's looking to be the next in line for that North American Championship. Backstage, Fraxium, this team right here, man, they're so completely odd, but whatever. Fraxium, they were talking about Nick and Ryan Nemeth. Whoa. When they were interrupted by Josh Briggs and Yokishi Anamura, who claimed Axiom and Nathan Frazier are dodging them. Fraxium pointed out that they are not doing that at all, and that they're set to defend their tag team titles on TNA against the Nemeth brothers. So once Briggs and Inamaru prove they deserve a shot, they'll be waiting. Interesting. Then we had Sol Ruka and Zarya. They beat Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. Then you had a Vengeance Day Summit. Charlotte came out there and she was basically like, she got a better reception here than she did on Raw. Charlotte says, last time I was here, I won the title. I beat Rhea. Then they get into a kerfluffle because Cora Jade came in and she hit everybody with kendo sticks and then she held up the belt. I guess she wants to be champion. You got Ava in the back. Ava, flanked by security, was between Ethan Page and Javon Evans to say that she is going to suspend Evans for attacking security. Page suggests instead of that, they should have a match. Ava books the match for Vengeance Day under the condition that Evans get medically cleared to compete first. You know, Ava she got the job because of The Rock, which is all right. You want to get your kid a job. You know what I mean? If she's interested in the family business and if she's still training to get into the ring, you know what I mean? But she just seems like she's like trying to memorize the lines. It's not like coming across like confident on TV. It just seems like she's just trying to memorize the lines. And it just takes me out of it. Backstage, Josh Briggs talks to Hank Walker and Tank Ledger about having a tag team match next week. My gosh, they got tag teams here. I'll tell you that. They got tag teams here. Now, I like a good tag team. Back in the day, I loved Demolition. I love the Hart Foundation. I love the Rockers. You know, the Midnight Express. You know, I loved all that. But my favorite was Owen Hart and Yokozuna, surprisingly, as my favorite tag team because of who? Jim Cornette. Love Jim Cornette. Kalani Jordan defeated Carmen Petrovic by submission. Now, Jada Parker and her has been, I don't know if they gotten into it, but it just seems like that Jada Parker is trying to turn her into the bad side. Because after the match, she kept beating on the girl to the point that the referee threw the match out and then named the other girl who won the match. And then Kalani just started flipping out again. So I would assume that a match is coming. So in the parking lot, Stephanie Vacour was in the parking lot. She was being interviewed about the title match for a brief moment. Then Lola Vice walked up, but nothing happened. I don't know. Is Lola gonna do something? Then you got a main event. Main event time, boy. A-Town Down Under. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller against Oba Femi, the NXT champion, and the former NXT champion, Trick Williams. I thought this match was great. It was really good. Waller and Theory, you can see that they're getting comfortable as a tag team now. Oba Femi is Oba Femi, and Trick Williams is Trick Williams. So at the end of this match, Trick was going crazy. Trick was running wild. Then Eddie Thorpe came out there and hit his ass in the back with a strap. And then that's when I think it was Theory or Waller who picked up the pinfall, but they lost due to that. The show ended with the Vengeance Day color bars teased from last week before cutting to 4 silhouettes of unknown wrestlers. Interesting. Like I said, man, I like NXT. I thought the show was a really good show to watch. It was an easy show. Nothing too groundbreaking happened. I mean, Charlotte came out there. It would have been nice to see Jey Uso out there, but you gotta hold it off. They got me interested in the Fandango match because I want to see Fandango. No Jordan Grace this week. No Jordan Grace. I wonder when they're gonna have her show up, or maybe she shows up on SmackDown. Maybe they just automatically get her in there. I mean, I don't see why not. I think Jordan Grace is a star. Put her on the main roster. She doesn't need to be down there in NXT with these girls. That girl's a star. She's ready now. And in a place where they need women in that division to fill out the mid card, the Intercontinental in the United States, Jordan Grace would be a nice addition to that. I can see her as being that. But that was your NXT review. It was nice. I will be back next week because I want to see what Fandango does. So you guys take it easy, and I'll see you next week.